Welcome to Global One Media's Stocks to Watch. I'm Michael Swidell. Today, we turn our attention to one of the largest gold exploration portfolios in Scandinavia. Our company in focus is First Nordic Metals. Joining us today are the company's CEO and its Chief Development Officer, Singh, and Adam Cegielski. Gentlemen, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having us.
Now, for people following the mining industry, I would venture to say that First Nordic Metals is best known for its flagship gold project in Sweden, which is known as the Barsele Gold Project. Today, though, we're going to zoom in on a different initiative, an exploration in Finland called Oijärvi. And apologies to my Finnish friends if my pronunciation is off. Oijärvi is a 176 square kilometer property. It is really quite big. And your company has just completed a deal to get this. And as part of that deal, Agnico Eagle has dramatically increased its stake in your company. Now, Agnico Eagle is one of the world's biggest gold miners. Adam, aside from financing, what does it mean to FNM for Agnico to own a larger stake in your company?
Thanks. I think it's obviously a huge stamp of approval. We've been in business with Agnico as Goldline Resources, where we acquired an initial portion of our Finland project through Agnico, and Agnico obviously owns 55% of the Barsele project. So it was a way to sort of balance everything out. Agnico owned us at a project level, but never really owned a meaningful amount of equity in the company. And today we have them as a 13.3% shareholder. So it's a huge stamp of approval. It's great to work with what we think is the best mining company in the world. They're now the second largest mining company in the world. So, they've been on the project for 10 years. They've got tons of institutional knowledge. We can now collaborate technically. It's a major win-win for everybody.
Fantastic. If we take a look at the property, Taj, why did you specifically want to acquire this one? How does it fit in with your strategy?
Well, I think it ticks all the important boxes. I think, it's in a great location. It's in Finland, an area we're already familiar with. You've got Agnico there as a partner as well, kind of at the equity level and also on the Swedish project, so that they're involved. That's a tier one jurisdiction. Number two, we think there's huge potential for resource growth there. There's been, it's relatively underexplored, and you've already has a maiden resource of over 300,000 ounces of high grade gold. We think that number can grow pretty substantially with a good drilling program, and it already has an existing resource. It's got growth potential, and it's in a great location. Those three boxes were ticked for us, and it lines up very well with the rest of our portfolio, and is synergistic from that point of view. So it made a lot of sense for us.
Fantastic. Adam, I want to look at the financing for your company. You recently raised close to 3 million Canadian dollars. That was from existing share warrants from investors and share options from insiders. What can you tell us about this? And are you among the insiders that upped your ante?
Yes. So great question. We've basically been able to finance the company without going to the market. We have a fantastic group of shareholders who've been patient through the years and have now continue to support the company with the warrant exercise. We have insiders, myself, Mark Legault, various insiders who had options and warrants that are exercising those warrants. So it's just I think it just shows that our efforts to revalue the company at a higher valuation. Remember, both these companies individually had over, close to a 300 million market cap a few years ago. So at 70, 80 million market cap, we still have a long way to go to revalue the company to where we think we should be. And this warrant exercise is just a demonstration that our shareholders feel the same. And it allows us to go continue our exploration work this summer, plan everything out for the rest of 2024, and just ensure that we're constantly working to get a higher share price, a higher valuation, and minimize dilution to the company.
All right. Those are all things I think that investors want to hear. Taj, let's look at the operations for a moment and how you balance things. I mean, between having projects now in both Sweden and Finland, how are you going to balance those operations and that resource allocation? What can you tell us about this?
Yeah, I think the really interesting thing about the Finland acquisition is it's going to involve the same people, same team, generally, same planning. We'll have to figure out kind of allocation of what kind of program we want in Sweden versus Finland. Finland's a new acquisition, so we'll put that together. But for Sweden, we've got a very interesting program. We'll be releasing that in a few days. That's already underway, started this summer. and we'll move that towards the fall and get ready for some drilling. But the real interesting thing I want to point out is the fact of the shared knowledge. The geology is the same, the methods of exploration are similar, and we can use that for both projects and kind of cross-fertilize ideas and really move both projects forwards with the same team. Really building on that kind of knowledge in the region.
Okay, excellent. So you're definitely seeing a synergy between the projects.
Correct. Yeah, exactly.
Let's take a look at your company's share price now. Since January, it's up 130%. Over the past 12 months, the story is even better. First Nordic Metals share price has more or less tripled in that period of time. I'm wondering, gentlemen, given the steep rise in the share price, would you say that your company is still a stock to watch? Can it appreciate further? Adam, you want to go first?
Yeah, of course. I mean, every level of valuation that you move up attracts different types of investors. And, we've got a wonderful distribution of insiders, management. We have strategic shareholders that have been part of the story. We've got a great retail shareholder base that adds, further liquidity. And this sort of sets us up to get to a valuation where there's certain institutional investors that really won't invest in you unless you get to, certain market capitalization. So as the story grows, there's always different levels of investors that want to benefit from that. Some take the risk early and get the benefit. So, various retail investors bought in at lower prices, and now we've solidified our valuation. We've brought Agnico in at almost 30 cents per share. So you've got new investors funding the company at close to 30 cents per share. That's going to lead to sort of further price appreciation, further revaluing in the market, and I think it's a testament to the work that we've been doing and really just fighting hard to demonstrate that these projects are, run by some of the, I think, best people in the industry in one of the best jurisdictions in the world to be operating, and in a climate where, gold's at all-time highs at 2,400, 2,450, and the gold stocks are just starting to break out. So, we've been through these cycles before. It looks like the gold stocks are going to start to break out. Agnico, when we started this discussion, was $60 a share. Today they're $105. So, we think in the next 12 to 24 months, Agnico's valuation is going to go up. They're going to become, a partner that is a $100 billion company. And I think it's really great to be able to, go to the market and say, listen, Agnico pledged their support for us at close to 30 cents a share, and that will attract further investment at much higher valuations to continue to de-risk and go find more ounces.
Fantastic. Taj, I'll give you the last word.
Yeah, listen, I think, tying into what Adam was mentioning about market caps, is these two combined companies, Goldline and Barsley, before they merged and became First Nordic Metals, at much lower gold prices, had a combined market cap of close to 300 million. And we're not even a third of that right now. So I think a big part of this, the kind of merger, was to first get our base value back up, as Adam talked about. And I think we're doing that. We're in the process of that. As we're doing that, we're becoming a bigger company, which means that when gold moves stronger, it's usually the more developed companies and the ones further along, they a little bit move faster and earlier. And I think we're at that point now where kind of institutions can look at this name rather than just retail. And I think really to simply put, answer your question, I think this is just the starting. I think we're getting there. And I think the movement up to this kind of share price level will propel us even further. And I think we're very kind of early on in that curve. Across the sector, but specifically for this story, I think we still really even have to get towards back to that base value. And it hasn't been factored in the fact that, gold is up close to $500 an ounce this year. So I think it's really the beginning of things to come. And I think it's an absolutely attractive entry point. If anyone did work on it and saw our project portfolio and saw the value proposition, they would realize that.
All right. I like the way you say that. That's just the beginning. And we've talked about definitely two great seals of approval today, both from Agnico Eagle on increasing its stake in your company and also on raising those funds. So congratulations on that. And thank you both for joining us today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We've been speaking with Taj Singh and Adam Cegielski of First Nordic Metals, and you've been watching Global One Media Stocks to Watch. I'm Michael Suedo.